Hello YouTube family, Merry Christmas and a huge Happy New Year to all of you. With the 2026 World Cup on the way, the energy in the football world is already building and we are thrilled to be sharing it with this amazing community. To celebrate, we have lined up some holiday surprises in the Goal 90 shop. A bunch of your favorite jerseys are already up to 50% off. Shipping is on us, and because you are part of our YouTube fam, you can grab an extra 10% off with the code YouTubeFam. Thanks for all the love and support. 2026 is going to be massive. Let's enjoy every moment together. We had always known that Marc Guéhi would be leaving Crystal Palace this year. After the London club blocked what seemed an already done deal to Liverpool in the summer, the captain decided not to sign a new contract with the club, and that meant that, with his contract expiring in the summer, he would be out of the club in 2026 one way or another. It was just a matter of when he would leave and what club he would join. For the longest time, Liverpool led the race for his signature, and at other points, we heard that other top clubs like Real Madrid, Bayern Munich and Barcelona were interested in him. But just like they did for Semenyo, Man City suddenly entered into the race and showed great intent. And today, we want to know why the Mancunian Giants want the defender. This is why Manchester City want Marc Guehi. Well, the most obvious reason is because of the injury crisis they suddenly found themselves in. Everything was going rather smoothly at the Etihad until players started to drop like flies. Right now, Manchester City have 3 centre-backs out. John Stones, Ruben Dias and Joško Gvardiol are out injured and are expected to be out for a long time. It surely doesn't help that Ake suffered an injury scare in the game against Sunderland. This crisis has already forced the club to recall Max Alleyne from his loan deal at Watford. The 2025 Manchester City Under-21 Player of the Year is surely a top talent, but at 20 years of age, he's still too young and inexperienced and can't be trusted to handle the pressure and responsibility of filling the shoes of Dias, Stone and Gvardiol, especially in the business end of the season. This has left City with no other option but to explore bringing in another defender, one that's older and more experienced. And you know who ticks those boxes? Yeah, Marc Guehi, but he even ticks a few more, which is why Man City have shown so much interest. We'll get into the major reasons in more detail really soon, but if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, go do that right away so you never miss out on our amazing content. Now back to the video. Guehi is a top defender. He has already shown that at Crystal Palace several times, and he has even often been solid against Man City themselves, so they have seen him show incredible levels up close. But not only that, we are talking about an England international here. He was arguably England's best defender at the 2024 Euros, and he's almost guaranteed a place at the 2026 World Cup. All of this, and he's still just 25 years old, meaning that he's just entering his peak years, so Man City are about to see the very best of him. Another important part of this that people seem to be ignoring is the fact that Guehi is a homegrown talent, and he helps Manchester City meet the compulsory Premier League homegrown quota, with one or more of Nathan Ake, James Trafford, John Stones, Calvin Phillips and Oscar Bobb expected to leave the club this year. City might find themselves falling off the homegrown quota if they're not very careful. So it is actually very wise that they are looking to make up those numbers with this signing. Although he was born in Côte d'Ivoire, Guehi played more than 3 years in England before his 21st birthday, which is the requirement for a player to be categorised as homegrown in England. He moved to England at the age of 1, joined Cray Wanderers at 5, and then moved to the Chelsea Academy 2 years later, where he went on to make a name for himself. So he is definitely homegrown. Getting a top centre-back in his prime who also helps with the homegrown quota sounds like a perfect deal on all fronts. Guehi is solid in duels, decent in the air, and is a great leader. I mean, Man City themselves experienced all of this firsthand in a big game just last season. Guehi captained Crystal Palace in the FA Cup final against Man City and helped the team to keep a clean sheet on their way to securing the first ever piece of silverware in the club's history. He would then go on to lead the club to a massive victory against Premier League champions Liverpool in the Community Shield that same summer. He is known for performing in big games and has shown that several times already. He also knows how to come up with important goals every now and then, which of course is never a bad idea. City haven't scored a lot from set pieces this season. Maybe a player like Guehi might make the difference. One thing that will make this signing that bit sweeter for Manchester City is that they snatch a player that is wanted by some of their rivals, both home and abroad. Liverpool have wanted him so badly for a long time. In fact, a welcome video had already been made for him in the summer, but as we said, Crystal Palace blocked that one from materialising on deadline day. But the Reds remained in contact since August and continued to show interest in him. Even rivals around Europe like Barcelona, Bayern Munich and Real Madrid reportedly showed interest in Guehi at one point or another. But it is City who have appeared to come out on top. Getting a top player who was wanted and chased by your rivals will always be a great feeling for any football club. But when you look at this signing much more closely, you see how much it feels like a no-brainer. A 25-year-old homegrown England international who has already proven himself for years in the Premier League available for a giveaway price. With the long-term injuries Man City have suffered in central defence, they just had to go for this one. Now, of course, some would say that City could have waited and gotten him for free in the summer, but it doesn't work that way, does it? Man City is a top club and they just cannot write off the season because of injuries, so it was important that they go out to make signings that can still make them compete and perhaps finish with a trophy or two. Hence, their keen interest in Guehi. Also, if they decide to wait till the summer, absolutely anything can happen. A player of that caliber available for free will be chased by all of Europe. That would mean that City would be up against a lot more competition than they are right now. More so, Guehi is not one of those ones you'll call a desperate move. He's a player for the present and the future. Even when Stones, Dias and Gvardiol return from injury, we expect that Guehi will still be City's starting centre-back. Stones and Ake will likely leave, and Gvardiol can play as a fullback, so we will likely be seeing a Guehi Dias or Guehi Kusanov centre-back partnership for much of the coming seasons. One thing is for sure, Marc Guehi is going to really elevate the Manchester City team. He'll help them shore up the defence and make them much tighter at the back, and as has often been said, that's how you win titles. This season, he is top 5 for most interceptions and top 15 for most duels won among defenders in the Premier League. Those numbers are expected to improve when he finds himself in a better system, surrounded by better players and playing under a better tactician. Guehi is one of the most intelligent centre-backs in the Premier League. He is never rash, always calm and calculated, but still very strong in the tackles and duels. He knows when to step up and knows when to retract. His game is so mature that people find it hard to believe that he is still just 25 years old. We have no doubt that he will be a great addition to the Manchester City squad both this season and beyond. But we now want to hear from you guys. What do you think about Manchester City going in for Marc Guéhi? Is that a good signing for them? Has Guehi made the best decision for his career? Is he a perfect fit for Manchester City? Tell us what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content. Catch you in the next one. Bye! This new year, Goal 90 drops something special. Football-inspired phone cases made for the Goal 90 fam. From club colours to country pride, we've got you covered. And the best part? Customise it with your name and number. Head to the Goal 90 shop and get yours now. Hello YouTube family, Merry Christmas and a huge Happy New Year to all of you. With the 2026 World Cup on the way, the energy in the football world is already building, and we are thrilled to be sharing it with this amazing community. To celebrate, we have lined up some holiday surprises in the Goal 90 shop. A bunch of your favourite jerseys are already up to 50% off. Shipping is on us, and because you are part of our YouTube fam, you can grab an extra 10% off with the code YouTubeFam. Thanks for all the love and support. 2026 is going to be massive. Let's enjoy every moment together.